Hello and thank you for joining us on this Groupe ESC Troyes news bulletin. Here are our headlines. Coming from the cold, in April, a group of 20 Russian students and professors from Samara were invited to spend a week in Troyes. They visited the ESC Business School and gave a few conferences on economics, a good way for the Troyan students to practice their Russian. Russia is not the only partner of the ESC Business School. A team of the International Relations Department is currently in Scandinavia to develop new partnership with local universities. We'll be talking live to Sandrine Goyer about this visit in a few minutes. And if you're an international student willing to come and study in Troyes next year, you'll know everything about the campus, how to find a flat, and so on and so forth. Joining me now to talk about these topics is Christelle Maubrey. She's Associate Director in charge of education, and she has all the answers to your questions. Christelle, do you know that from Samara, Russia to Troyes, there is just one step, and this step was crossed at the end of April by a delegation of Russian students and teachers. They spent a week here at the business school to discover the campus and teach economics, a visit which aims at strengthening the partnership between the two universities. They spoke French, English and Russian, but they all understood each other. In April, the ESC Business School was really trilingual as it welcomed a bunch of 20 teachers and students from the Russian city of Samara. The State University of Economics and the ESC Business School in Troyes have been partners for 3 years, a special and very strategic relationship for the ESC.
We may not ignore Russia. You know, Russia is now emerging, and that is for us also a challenge to cooperate with them. We have exchanges with the 3 cities in Russia. We started with Moscow, of course, with St. Petersburg, but Samara might have a very, very important role within the international competition. And that's why we attach great importance to the partnership with this university.
Making international exchange easier, this is exactly what it's all about. And it works. Students already tend to leave abroad for their internship, but there is more to come. Common workshops and conferences, and why not a double degree one day? For the Russian university, this is a win-win partnership.
It's a very young school, but it's very attractive because the school offers very many popular programs. For example, very popular is school faculty of tourism and service, for example. It's very attractive for our students.
Research won't be left aside. Franco-Russian pools of academics may be put in place, the perfect excuse to learn a few Russian words.
Меня зовут Светлана Комарова, я заместитель директора Международного отдела экономического университета города Самары. Добро пожаловать к нам.
Christelle Maubrey, are there currently many Russians studying at the ESC Troyes?
About 10.
About 10? They come
Yes.
from all the cities in Russia?
They come from St. Petersburg and Moscow.
Mainly St. Petersburg,
Yes.
St. Petersburg and Moscow. And what about Samara?
We have none.
None for the moment?
For this year.
Not for this year,
Yes.
maybe next year.
Exactly.
More generally, how do you help international students to get organized here in Troyes?
Well, we help them with their accommodations because it's very difficult for international students to find accommodation in the private sector.
Sure, especially if they don't speak French.
Exactly, and then with all the French regulations, it's quite tough. So we help them with accommodation, with their all the documents they have to do once they arrive here, and
Social
security, visa regulation for the non-European students, and then all the electricity things, gas and everything.
All the bills and all that.
Bills. Yes.
This is a lot of paperwork, and paperwork, we know it's very important in France. Can you tell us what international students must do in priority before they come to France?
So before they come to France, the non-European students have to do their visa application, and they have to go through the CEF organization into the embassy, French embassy. there they are asked a lot of documentation, like birth certificate in French. They have to prove that they have enough money to survive, to live for 1 year or for 1 semester in France. And it's a very long procedure, so we help them with that.
But some of them are already here on the campus. How is it to live on this campus when you're international students? Last time, remember, we discovered a bunch of happy Chinese and Swedes. Well, this time I propose we dive into the everyday life of the Canadians and Brazilians studying here in Troyes, and you'll see that apart from studying, there are lots to do in our city.
One big difference is how the schedule works. Here it seems like there's not really like a specific time each week that you have a course. It's sort of just this Monday you'll have a course and then maybe you'll have it for 6 hours and then you won't have it again for another 2 weeks. And at home it's you have it an hour and a half twice a week at the same time every single week. So that's a big difference.
We have some international subjects like international marketing, international economy, while in Brazil we just like the local market. We don't have these kind of subjects.
Just looking around, like it's just more, the buildings and everything's more interesting than at home because everything's newer where we live, so there's a lot more like history here, and it was interesting. I was able to go see like castles and I don't know, so it's just interesting, just like walking around is nice just to see the nice buildings.
Yeah, things we don't have.
Yeah.
And it's nice here how like you can walk everywhere pretty much, like everything's so spread out in Canada that you can't walk.
It's so good if you have a bike because you can do whatever you want like just in 5 minutes because it's not a big city, so you don't have to take a bus or cab, so bike's a good option.
It goes from being like minus 40 in the winter.
Yeah, so coming here in the coldest it'll be is minus 10 or something.
Yeah,
so we're like, oh, it's so nice.
For us, it's really cold.
Actually, this is a problem for us because we have winter as well. And it's quite cold, but here it's almost summer and we're still wearing sweaters, so we're not used to it. Like we miss summer, the parks, the beaches.
Bye.
Christelle Mauvray, do the international students all have to speak perfectly French before they come here in Troyes?
No, they don't. They can take courses in English, so they will have French intensive class just to know the little bit that we need, but they don't need to.
So that means that at the end of 1 semester they should speak French?
They should. Some of them don't, but they should, yes.
And so they have French classes, but how do they choose their other subjects, such as economics or business?
They choose it basically with, in accordance with their home university. They can have management courses, marketing, economics, language courses. So it really depends.
Tourism also.
Tourism courses. It really depends where they come from.
And do you have, at the end of their semester, of their 1 year, do they have a double degree, or how does it work?
Well, we have double degree agreements with some universities. So some of the students will spend 1 year and they will do specific courses in accordance with this double degree agreement, and then they will get our diploma.
And
yes.
for example, which university have double degree with ESC Troyes?
In the ESC program, we have double degree agreement with the Moscow State Finance Academy, and then in the INBA program, which is more international business, we have many partners in England. London South Bank University is one of them. In Germany, Haaren Fachhochschule or in Spain.
Everywhere in the world. So for the international students to be able to come and study here at the ESC Troyes, the ESC has to have special agreements with their university of origin, and there are people here in charge of developing the partnerships with international universities. Joining us live from Finland today is Sandrine Goyer, Associate Director of International Relations at Groupe ESC Troyes. Sandrine, you've been traveling in Scandinavia for the past 15 days now. What are you exactly doing here?
But what I'm doing here, basically I'm doing a Scandinavian tour in order to visit our partner institutions all over here. Well, indeed, we try to visit our Scandinavian partners every year or every 2 years in order to maintain with them a good relationship and make that our cooperation become every time more intensive.
And what kind of partners are you looking for?
Well, so far we have already signed a lot of agreements with Scandinavian institutions. So more than looking for new partners, we try to make that the ones we already have work.
And how many partners do we have in Scandinavia for the moment?
Well, so far we have signed, if I'm not mistaken, 17 agreements with Scandinavian universities. That means 9 with Finland, 1 with Norway and 7 with Sweden. And among them, I have to mention that they are ones of the best. For instance, Göteborg and Umeå University in Sweden, or Helsinki School of Economics, now Aalto in Finland.
And how many students from Scandinavia do we welcome in Troyes every year?
Well, over the last 10 years, we have welcomed around 100 Scandinavian students in Troyes and sent out more than 200 students to Scandinavian universities.
And what is the reputation of the ESC Troyes in Scandinavia?
Oh, well, very good. The thing is that in most universities it's really hard to send out Scandinavian students to France because they are not so used to spend a semester abroad. So basically we are sending a lot of students here and not receiving so much students from here.
To conclude, Sandrine, what's your best souvenirs in Scandinavia?
Well, I've got a lot of good souvenirs here, but I think that the most impressive thing that you can experience in Scandinavia in June is the midnight sun. That means that, well, it's really amazing because it's only getting dark at 1 in the morning. So it's really great. And, well, what else? You can taste a very delicious poro. Poro is the Finnish word for reindeer, and even have a chance to meet Santa Claus in Lapland, for instance.
So that's the culture shock, to meet Santa Claus?
Well, this is not a big shock. It was just a kind of dream when I was a child. But about culture shock, there's no specific culture shock here because, well, this is Europe, so that means that the food is quite the same and the habits too. But, well, if you're planning to live here, you have to keep in mind that people here are used to having their lunch at 11 in the morning and their dinner at 6. This is, well, quite a difference with France.
Thank you so much, Sandrine. And how do you say welcome in Finnish?
It's tervetuloa.
Perfect. Let's move to our sports section now with the uni-annual World Cup. 27 students of the ESC took part in the competition this year. It was organized in Paris and confronted all the major French universities around soccer matches and athletics challenges. Our students did well. They jumped, ran, sweat, yelled and sung to encourage their team and had a wonderful day. Christelle Maubret, is sports part of the curriculum at the ESC?
It's not, but it's part. We have a sport association. Every Thursday afternoon is dedicated to associations. There is one sport association. They can do basically any sports you could find in universities. football, basketball, and we do have a fitness room at the school. So between 6 and 7, you can find a lot of students. No, at night you can find a lot of students.
And you can also dance there, samba.
Yes, salsa.
Salsa. Yes. This is perfect for our Brazilian friend on the campus. Thank you very much, Christelle Mauvray, for being my guest today. Have wonderful holidays and see you in September. It's the end of this Groupe ESC Troyes News Bulletin. Thank you for watching and stay with us.